Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be part 2 of last week's video. We're going to continue answering the questions to what I posed on my Instagram story, and I also posted a picture and asked the question of what are some of the struggles that you have of being young and saved, and or just a millennial in the church, some of the struggles that we face. And I've been trying my best to answer. I hope it's helping. I try my best to answer. I don't have all the answers, but I try to use my experience to the best of my ability to help you guys. And as I'm still learning, and I'm still a lot of the things that you guys ask me, I'm going through as well. So just offering tips that I use on a daily. So I'm going to jump right back into it. So the first one is balance. So balance between school, life, and then church, and then everything else you have going on. I'm a full-time student. I have a job, and I do ministry in my church. So my life is very busy. I rarely have downtime, and I don't get any sleep. Nothing. I don't do it's hard to find time to do things for myself because I am so busy now. And I'm still trying to find that balance of everything, especially because being in school and having papers due, or exams, homework, and all that, and then finding time to pray is my biggest thing, because I have classes Tuesdays and Thursdays all day from 10 to 7 o'clock at night, and then I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm tired all the time. So when I do get back from class or back from work, I just want to lay in my bed and knock. But it's okay, I haven't prayed yet. I need to get up and pray. And I don't like praying in my bed because I fall asleep or I get distracted. So I like to pray on my floor. I get on my knees and I pray. And I started praying in the shower. But I feel then I'm not giving God my full attention. So it's very hard to find that balance, because I don't want to neglect my spiritual life. But I'm alright, God, you put me in school for a reason, so I don't want to neglect what you have me here to do as well, learning in the natural. But so that's a hard question for me to answer, because I really don't have the answer to that, because I'm still trying to find that balance and find what works for me, but what's also the most beneficial to me. Because then even with reading my word, finding time to not just, I don't like just reading it. I want to read it, understand it, digest it, and know it. So it's finding a time to study that and study my textbooks. So I don't know, if y'all got some tips, let me know, because I'm still myself struggling with that. So I really don't have an answer, other than you just have to keep working on finding out what works for you and what's the most beneficial to you, where you're not neglecting any part of your life. Where spiritually you're not neglecting yourself, mentally, emotionally, physically, naturally, nothing. You're not neglecting any part of yourself. You have to find, it's very important to find that balance. I just haven't found it yet. But y'all got some tips, drop it in the comments, DM me, let me know, because your girl needs it. So the next couple of questions, it's kind of I'm gonna read them, there's 4 of them. I'm gonna read them all together and answer it as one big thing, because they kind of all coincide with each other. So I don't want to answer one question and then answer it and then say the next question and start saying the same things over and over again, because that's gonna be a little annoying. So I'm gonna say all 4 questions, I'm gonna just read them and then answer it as one big thing. So being ashamed, standing out, making a difference, showing that you can still be cool and saved. That's a big one. What's the next one? Feeling like you don't fit in. And being okay with being isolated and set apart, not being afraid. That was a lot. So as far as being ashamed, I don't think, since I really got saved, I don't think I've ever been ashamed of Jesus, because he saved me, yo. I just want to tell everybody how awesome he is, and I get it though, being around people who aren't saved, and it's they don't know God, and it's you feel kind of awkward telling them, but what you have is greater than what they have. So just go for it. Like, don't be ashamed, don't be scared, don't be afraid, because like I said, what you have is better. And you don't want to pass up a moment or pass up a time to introduce somebody to Christ, and that could have been something that helped them, and you passed it up. So, and I've been there, I've experienced that. Like, so many times I've left people's presence and I'm like, wow, like that would have been a good moment for me to like witness to them, evangelize to them. So don't ever be ashamed, because there's nothing to be ashamed about in Jesus. Nothing at all. These people out in the world have things to be ashamed about, but when you're in Jesus, there's nothing, literally nothing to be ashamed about. And then making a difference and showing that you can be cool and saved, that's something like my best friend and I talk about that all the time. Because like when you look at the saints, it's like, what do y'all do? Do y'all just go to church? Do y'all just go to revival? Do y'all just speak in tongues? Like, it's kind of just like, what fun do y'all have? And I always hear like the saints always got a problem. Like they always got an issue. It seems like growing up like in the black church, I feel like they always got an issue. So it's like, do y'all ever have fun? It's like, what can we? It's always you feel like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. It's like, well, what can I do? So, like, but like I said, we talk about that all the time. Like, but there are things. If you think about it, what can't you like? We just don't drink. Well, let me say we don't do. You don't get drunk. You don't smoke. You don't party. You gotta have a Holy Ghost style Holy Ghost party. But there's other things to do besides that. Like, you don't have to be high or be drunk to have fun. And like take it there's free things to do. Like find like little free things to do. Or like I feel like when you have like a good group of friends and y'all just hang out or like do things, you don't really think about, oh, I'm not having fun, because you're just not high, or you're not drunk, or you're not like at a party shaking your butt. And then after a while you get older, you get tired of doing those things, because after a while, like last year, I got tired of going to parties. I got tired of being out in the cold waiting, or like seeing if I can get into a party. Like I got tired of it, or going inside a party and being hot, having people dance all over me. Like I got tired of it. Like the older you get, that stuff seems so less appealing. But you can be saved and be cool and have fun. Don't let nobody fool you, because I have lots of fun and I'm pretty cool. Did I answer all the parts of that? Being okay with being isolated, and feeling like you don't fit in. You're not gonna fit in. Not everywhere, at least. Maybe in church you will. But in the world, you're not gonna fit in. Like, you were cool to stand out. So like, I don't see like why you would even want to fit. I don't want to fit in anywhere. Like, I want them to know, everywhere I go, I want them to know she's different. There's something different about her. Everywhere I go, every room I walk into, I want them to know that one. There's something special about that one. So I don't feel like you're, as a person living for Christ, you're not gonna fit in. They're gonna notice something about you, because the light of Christ is shining through you. They're gonna notice that wherever you're at. At least that should be your prayer, that they notice that. So not fitting in, like, who cares? And like I said, the right people will start to gravitate towards you. And the more people see that light and how God has transformed you and changed you, the more they're gonna want to be around you, and then they're gonna want to change themselves. And then being isolated, when you go through your seasons where you have to be alone, it's because God really wants your ear, and He really just wants to do a work through you and in you. So, and you can't, the higher you go, people start dropping off. You can't take everybody with you. Not everybody can go to your next. They just can't. Some people are meant to take you, to be with you for one season, and once that wind changes and they bend, and it's time for you to go. God, the high, like when you climb a mountain and like the elevation rises and the air gets thinner, you can't breathe, you gotta start taking things off. Just like people, sometimes the higher you go, you gotta start taking people off, taking them off. But you have to learn to be okay with that, because if you're not okay with that, and then people start leaving and God starts removing people, you're gonna be miserable, and you're gonna question God and question the things that He's doing, and think that He just wants you to be lonely when He doesn't. He just wants your ear, and He wants you to understand. He just wants you to understand that he needs you by yourself right now, so that you can fully understand and grasp the things that He has for you and what He's called you to do. And once He gets you to that place, and maybe He'll bring you back to those people. Or not bring you back, because I don't think God will ever bring somebody back to something. But maybe He'll push those people up. Those people will see you and they'll be like, like I said before, I want what she has. and bring themselves back up. Bring themselves up to you. And be around you more. And so I think I answered all those sets, like, from that, like, little set. Okay, so again, like, I'm gonna do the same thing, like, just read some of them and answer them because they, like, coincide with each other. Being content in being single, remembering we're still young, remaining pure and holy, lust, self-confidence, being bold in Christ, loneliness, and temptation. Okay, so being content in being single and remembering you're still young. This was hard for me. Sometimes it still is hard for me, I'm not gonna lie. Because there are times where I'm like, Lord, I do desire to be in a relationship. I do desire companionship. Even though I'm not looking. Like, I'm not, like, I would be lying if I said sometimes I don't look and be like I see my friends in relationships and it's like, sometimes I miss that. But I think sometimes I just miss that having someone to always talk to, or just having the person always there, instead of actually missing being in a relationship. But you have your whole life to be tied down to somebody. You have your whole life to, like, be with someone. You don't get these younger years, you do not get them back. This is the time to really divulge into yourself and focus on yourself. Figure out what you want to do career-wise, school-wise. You can go back. If you're not in school, go back to school. Find a path. Start a business. Like, do what you want and not have to worry about being tied down to someone or worrying about what they're doing. Like, this is the time to fully worry about yourself and not have to think about anyone else. This is the years to be selfish. Like, in this season, I'm enjoying my selfish moments. Like, and not like as a selfish person, but I'm able to take all of my time, all of my energy, and pour it into myself and figure out the things I like, the things I don't like, what I want to do with my life, where I want to go. And I have big dreams and big plans. Like, I want to do like crazy big things, and I don't have time to worry about what somebody's son is doing. I just don't. I don't have time to be like calling your phone, where you at? I don't got time for that. So this is the time, like, you have your late 20s, 30s, 40s to worry about that. But these like late teen, early 20s, you do not get that time back at all. So I feel, don't stress it. And like I said before, like throughout this whole video, honestly, when it's the right person, God will send them and you'll know. And they won't make you compromise anything. You won't have to push anything to the side. And you'll just know. So you're young. Enjoy life. Live life. Write a book. Do something. Don't worry about nobody's son though. It ain't worth it. Remaining pure and holy, and then like the whole like lust and like loneliness thing. Like I said before, like with the whole sex before marriage question in part 1. Ain't nobody got time for a soul tie. I just feel like, just hold on. If you gotta pray more, but, and like again, find a hobby. And it's not easy to remain pure. It's not, because it's like, you look on social media, you see like all these social media like famous people like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, all of them, they over glamorize sex. They over glamorize all these things, provocative. I probably said that wrong, but they over glamorize those things, so it makes it look appealing, but it isn't. As somebody who came from that side of the world, like, it isn't. It's not fun. Like, in that moment it may feel fun, but when the lights turn back on and you have to actually deal with yourself, it's not fun and it's not worth it. So I feel like you need to outweigh your pros and cons, and I promise you that con list is gonna outweigh the pros of going out here and sinning. I'm saying, the wages of sin is death. You don't want to be out there in the world and then God be like I don't want to scare y'all, like, and that's not what my ministry is about at all, scaring people into salvation, because I don't believe in that. But I believe in the Bible 100%. So I believe there does come a time where it's like, either get it together now or I'm gonna just have to take my hand off of you. So to me, it's just not worth it. Did I answer all the parts? Being lonely. Like I said before, like, there's a difference in being alone and being lonely. And I feel when you have God in your heart, it's very hard to be lonely. Because when He fully comes into your heart and He has every part of you, He fills every void. Like, I'm alone, I'm not in a relationship, I don't have a lot of friends, but when God has completely infiltrated my heart, so there's never a day where I'm like, God, I'm so lonely. Because I talk to Jesus all day, every day. So, like, that, He my friend, so, like, I'm never alone because God's right, He's sitting right next to me, stop. But, so, I feel if you fully let God into your heart and ask Him just to heal your heart and infiltrate Himself into all the cracks in your heart and really ignite a friendship with Him, you don't feel lonely. And He'll send people to you. Because that's what He did for me. He sent people my way. And now I have, like, safe friends. So the next question is the fear of not doing something right or living up to my full potential. The living up to my full potential. So right now, like, so I have, like, my Instagram blog and I just started the YouTube. But sometimes, like I do this, but then, like, career-wise, I'm just like, Lord, sometimes I worry, like, okay, am I studying the right thing in school? Is this really what God has for me? And I pray about that all the time, like, God, give me guidance, give me direction. Like, are you calling me to more, or is what I'm doing fine? Is this it? But I feel just you have to really pray and really seek God's face, and He'll show you and He'll tell you if what you're doing is what He called you to do. So I just like, that's the only best I can say. Like, that's something you really have to pray about and ask God, because He'll tell you if what you're doing isn't what you're supposed to be doing, or if what you're doing is the right thing, and He'll give you red flags. He'll show you signs. He'll send people your way. And, like, even when I think about, like, the business that I want to start this year, as far as my career, I'm just like, okay, God, like, if this is really what you want me to do, you will send me resources. You'll allow me to meet people who can help me and further me in what I want to do and offer me advice and mentor me. And that's what He's been doing. So I feel once you pray and figure out what it is that not only that you want to do, but what God has called you to do, He'll send the things the right way. And He's like, you don't have to worry about living up to it, because if God called you to it and He's graced you to do it, what God graced you to do, you're already graced to do. So it's like you don't have to worry about living up to it, because He graced you for it. So you can, it's a matter of walking into it. So yeah. And then for my last question, it is understanding that the Lord's plan may not coincide with yours, but His plan is best. So every day I pray, Lord, nevertheless my will, but your will be done. And I started praying that because I was studying, I had watched a sermon, and then I was studying when Jesus was praying before He went to go be crucified. And He said, nevertheless my will, but your will be done. And nevertheless means despite what I'm feeling. So Jesus didn't want to go to Calvary and die. He didn't want to go on the cross and die. But nevertheless, what He felt, He did it anyway. And He would do it again. I think that's the most powerful part. So He did it anyway because that's what God told Him to do. That's what God sent Him here to do. So I feel when you're thinking about the things that you may want to do and it doesn't match up to His will, it's not worth it. You honestly pray that His will become yours. Because when His will is perfect, you may have plans and think that your plans are great and you can start off doing things that are so amazing, but if it's not God's will, I promise you it will crash and burn and fail. And I've seen it happen to people. So pray that His will become your will and that it will be manifested in the earth realm. Because it's the worst thing to really want something that God doesn't want and you keep just pushing it and pushing it, and God will give you what you pray for. As I tell people all the time, be careful what you pray for, because He'll give it to you. And that very thing that you think is your blessing and what you prayed for can turn out to be the curse of your life. So, seriously, like, you may not think you want what He wants for you, but His plan, His will, His designs are perfect. Like, there's no faults in it, there's no cracks in it, there's no slip-ups in it, nothing. So, you just need to pray that God will change your heart, honestly. Like, that's what I did, and I'm still doing, honestly. I just pray that God change my heart, let your will become mine, and just let it be manifested, because I only want what you have for me, because what you have is perfect. So, that's my advice for that. But that concludes this. I think I answered everything. Honestly, I think I did. But if I didn't, you can drop questions below. You can DM me, like, yeah, comment and whatever. Like I said, I'll probably revisit this. I will revisit this again, and pose the question again and get different responses and different answers and revisit some things and see if I changed a little bit. And like certain things I didn't have answers to, see if like later down the line I do gain more wisdom and have answers to. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, click the like button, click the subscribe button. I don't know which way it is, but yeah, do. So like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I link my Instagram below. And yeah, and then tune in next Sunday for my next video. Thank you guys.